The prosecutors in Young Thug's trial is fumbling the case thus far. They're making huge mistakes which will result in Young Thug release from jail, as the judge was screaming in court at their mistakes of hiding evidence, which is highly illegal to do in a court setting.
Your Honor, we would ask, because we would ask that all of this be reserved for the 16th, because this all came up in September. I am
really annoyed about this, Ms. Hilton. I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th, because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like to
exclude a lot more on that date, because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice, that we just kind of keep, you keep dripping and drabbing out evidence.
This even left Meek Mill reacting by saying, and I quote, "Jeffrey is gonna beat this case, it is too messy," which is 100% correct. The prosecutors are trying to sneak in 200 plus witnesses to come to trial and share the crimes that Jeffrey allegedly committed, all while not sharing the names of these witnesses, what crimes they even witnessed, and if they can actually prove that they witnessed a crime going down. The only thing the prosecutors have against Young Thug now is the newly added rap lyrics that is now found in Young Thug's case. As DJ Akademiks would report, judge in Young Thug case allows the use of 17 different lyrics against him and his co-defendants.
Is going to admit for the limited purpose thus far, the state's request to apply the evidence statute as written. I'm going to conditionally admit particularized lyrics, and those lyrics are found within states 18. There's 17 sets of lyrics. I'll conditionally admit those pending lyrics, depending upon or subject to a foundation that is properly laid.
As in multiple Young Thug songs, he literally breaks down on how crimes were committed and who they even targeted, with the first set of Young Thug lyrics being in the track titled Bad Boy featuring Juice WRLD, where Young Thug raps the lyrics, and I quote, "I went at his mommy, now he no longer mentions me." As during the famous Young Thug vs YFN Lucci beef, things escalated very fast between the two, so fast that Young Thug put a quick end to it by targeting his mother, as evidence shows in police files. Ever since then, Lucci has not done a single thing towards Young Thug, as further explained here.
Well, he's featured on the song, so the song is actually by an artist that goes by the name of Juice WRLD, and it's featuring Mr. Williams. The song is called Bad Boy, and Mr. Williams says, "I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mentioned me." Now, this would seem, again, insignificant if you're just looking at these words. However, in this case, in the height of the 2050 between the YSL gang and the IF, we have cases in which individuals of YSL the opposition's mother's house. Mr. Rayshawn Bennett, also known as YFN Lucci. We have two incidents in January 22 of 2015 and January 26 of 2015, where his mother's home, Mr. Bennett's mother's home,
The next set of lyrics is in a song titled Ew. Young Thug raps the lyrics, "Honestly, truth be told, YSL won't fold. Pick him off from the balcony, YSL wipes a nose." Relating to a crime where YSL members targeted an op while he was outside on a balcony. Court files suggest that multiple YSL members staked out the balcony of the apartment for roughly 3 hours, waiting for the op to come out, as once he did, you can guess what happened then. The next lyrics are my favorite. Read out loud inside of the courtroom was the lyrics, and I quote, "My boys really be slime, and we committing them crimes. Hop out and hit, you wanna be slime? Go catch you a body." As these are lyrics from Young Thug's hit song titled Really Be Slime. Funny enough, featuring YNW Melly, who's also in a court case for allegedly being responsible for his two friends passing. Now, prosecutors allege these lyrics relate to the recruitment process of joining Young Thug's street team known as YSL, where you have to commit a very serious crime crime towards someone just to join. These rap lyric evidence is a majority of the evidence that the prosecutors now have, as Young Thug's lawyers are making the chance of Thug's release extremely high. To understand this and when his release date is, we need to dive deep into what Young Thug's lawyer just did. As it was announced today, Young Thug's lawyer files a motion to redact/remove any sort of mention in the indictment of the 9 co-defendants who took guilty pleas. He argues the fact that co-defendants pleading guilty cannot be used as evidence against Thug or others in the trial. As part of their plea deals, there is a few YSL members that will have to take the stand against Young Thug, snitching right inside of the courtroom in front of the jury on what crimes he committed. Why this is so important is because a Young Thug's co-defendant and right-hand man named Durante Bibi, aka B, who had pled guilty to his RICO charges currently against him, along with participation in criminal street activity, theft by receiving stolen property, violation of Georgia's Controlled Substance Act, armed robbery, hijacking of a motor vehicle, as well as firearm charges.
And you give this guilty plea freely and voluntarily, means your own decision to enter a plea this afternoon?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And sir, then I find that based upon the responses that you've given in the colloquy in this case and the court's questioning of you, that your pleas are freely and voluntarily entered. I find a factual basis. I'm going to go ahead and accept your pleas as tentative and negotiated, sentence you to the as indicated. You're 23 years old. You've had enough trial in your life at this point in time. Would you agree?
Yes.
Time to have a little testimony. Time to reclaim your own life, and that you can do in this case, or if you just separate yourself from the people that you've been hanging out with. Find some new friends, find some new people that are going to be positive in your life, and if they don't add to your life, then you need to cut them loose.
As B was sentenced to 5 years inside of prison with 10 years of probation following his release. B is now the 9th co-defendant to strike a plea deal to avoid trial. So with BB, known as Young Thug's right-hand man, admitting to guilt of all of those crimes that I just shared, the jury is going to know and believe that Young Thug was likely involved as well. Not to mention Gunna's plea deal as well, as Gunna even snitched and said yes to many concerning crimes that YSL committed.
YSL is a music label, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
As everyone close to Young Thug is snitching and making plea deals out of this case, which is why when the announcement of, and I quote, the Young Thug and YSL RICO trial is expected to officially start November 27th, starting tomorrow, 12 jurors and 6 alternates will be seated from the pool of 50 qualified jurors was announced. There was many YSL members that were extremely worried for Young Thug, as there is more information detailed here.
We finally have a jury. According to this tweet by Thugger Daily on Twitter, the jury's demographics are 9 women, 3 men, 7 black women, 2 white women, 1 white man, and then the 6 alternate jurors are 3 black women, 2 white men, and then 1 black man. So it's going to be a good mix of this jury. This started off with 28 indicted defendants, including Young Thug. Some of them took plea deals. Some of them have been severed from the case. Some of them don't have lawyers, not even public defenders. And one person is still on the run. And so after all of that, we are down to 7 defendants. So when this trial starts on November 27th, it will be 7 defendants in that courtroom. And that does include Young Thug.
As Young Thug is practically going into this RICO trial by himself. There was a total of 28 members arrested. There's only now 7 left. Young Thug's lawyers are already trying to make a huge move, which could help the evidence provided by the snitches not be usable against Young Thug. As if this turns out to be true, what Young Thug's lawyers are stating, not only will Young Young Thug be released, but everyone that made plea deals against Young Thug will have to live with the consequences of doing so. It all begins with a report of, and I quote, Brian Steele says Lil Woody was told he would get 25 years in federal prison in a different case if he didn't cooperate against Young Thug, aka Snitch. The state refuses to give anything to the defense concerning the federal agent that went after Lil Woody with this. Brian Steele wants to put her on the stand to show the jury that Woody was told to lie about Jeffrey Williams.
Specifically is on the recording, KC, that he will get, that she spoke with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and he is facing, if he does not cooperate against Mr. Williams, he is facing 25 years at a minimum charges in federal court, and there's no parole. I do not have one document, not one note or memoranda provided in discovery concerning ATF agent Cunningham.
As Lil Woody provided a majority of the evidence the prosecutors are using against Young Thug. As stated by DJ Akademiks, Lil Woody cooperated with the police for 3 hours and solved over 50 crimes, telling on Young Thug, YFN Lucci, and others. It was so bad, this was Young Thug's reaction in court the following day. As Lil Woody snitched for 3 hours long, he said every single illegal thing the YSL rap group ever did, including Young Thug, Lil Baby, and Gunna. If Young Thug's lawyers can prove that Lil Woody was forced into snitching in a legal way, all of that evidence will be wiped off of the record. It was so bad, the Atlanta DA even said that Lil Baby was next on the RICO list.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
Knowing this information that can go huge for Young Thug, Thug's father is trying to clean up his son's name outside of the courtroom, as Thug's lawyers had Thug's father do an interview this week, stating that Gunna didn't snitch on Young Thug at all, and there is no bad feelings between the two, as it really seems that Thug's father is trying to make it seem like Young Thug wants no revenge against Gunna for snitching if he was to be released.
Courtney said, how do you feel about Gunna?
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler.
Okay.
Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case. Period.